Hey everybody, welcome back to No Jumper News. It's Adam22 here with you, man. Hey everybody, welcome back to No Jumper News. It's Adam22, and let's get into this first story. The sole adult suspect charged with murdering Pop Smoke was back in court on Friday in Los Angeles, insisting that he did not intend for the rapper to get killed. In fact, Corey Walker, that's his name, was so upset that one of his co-defendants opened fire on Pop Smoke that he allegedly assaulted the shooter within the Airbnb that they had just invaded. According to Rolling Stone, his defense attorney Christopher Darden filed a motion to dismiss the criminal charges against his client, who was 19 when he participated in the 2020 Hollywood Hills home invasion. His lawyer stated that Corey specifically voiced his opposition to any violence before Pop Smoke was fatally shot dead. It is clear from the evidence that Walker did not enter the house, was not armed, and did not personally kill the victim. Moreover, the evidence is clear that the defendants did not share the actual killer's intent to kill, Darden wrote in the filing. Darden argued that his client did not plan this crime, and in the worst case scenario, it was only the driver who remained outside, seated in the driver's seat of a vehicle that belonged to him and his grandmother. The defendant was aware that a weapon was being used, Darden wrote, but he was careful to insist that his weapon not be fired. Just hours before the crime took place, Corey Walker allegedly scouted the Hollywood Hills home where Pop stayed. Prosecutors say that he and his co-defendants returned to the rental property shortly after, and Walker remained in the getaway car as the others broke into the home. In the filing, Darden also stated that his client allegedly insisted if it became necessary for the suspects to defend themselves, that they should use a flower vase rather than shoot someone. It was only hours after the robbers exited the house and re-entered the vehicle that Walker learned of the shooting. In response, Walker assaulted the shooter. As we previously reported, both Corey Walker and Keandre Rogers were each charged with murder, with the special circumstance allegation that the fatal shooting took place during the commission of a robbery and burglary. Though the charges make Corey Walker ineligible for the death penalty, he faces life in prison. The other two defendants, ages 15 and 17 at the time of the crime, were individually charged with one count of murder and robbery. An LAPD detective testified that the 15-year-old suspect had admitted to shooting Pop Smoke 3 times during the incident. He allegedly confessed while speaking to an informant while behind bars. The judge set a hearing on the new motion for December 3rd. Corey Walker's estimated 4-week trial is expected to begin within 90 days of that date. It's hard to even think about what I should say about this topic, but I mean, it's sad on all ends. I mean, obviously, it's incredibly sad that Pop Smoke had to lose his life so early in his career and wasn't able to carry out all of the opportunities that were blatantly right in front of his face. But now when you look at this scenario and you see a bunch of young kids who all sort of like banded together to go commit a robbery, and now they're all going to probably spend the rest of their life in prison. I mean, that's incredibly sad as well. I think probably a lot of these guys are going through the realization that a lot of the things that might have seemed important at a certain point in their life, where they might have thought that it was important enough to get some money to go rob a rapper in the Hollywood Hills in an area you never even been to before. I mean, they might have thought that that was actually worth taking the risk, and they might have thought that their friends in that situation were going to have their back, and obviously that's not true. Obviously, you know, people snitch, and it just usually happens that way. But I guess I would just say to any kids out there, maybe if you know anybody living like this, or if you yourself are taking risks that in any way resemble what we're talking about in today's story, do some second guessing, some second thoughts, you know, take into consideration what your life is really worth, because this story to me just looks like a whole bunch of people who have basically treated life like it was worthless, and it sounds like they're going to spend the rest of their lives in prison most likely, and it's, you know, you're better than that. I guess that's all I got to say. YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back real soon. Appreciate you guys.